Hey guys, welcome to Creative Living with Bren Haas, the show where creative minds come together to connect, share, and grow. I'm your host, Bren Haas. In today's Garden Chat episode, we get the first public tour of the magnificent Northwest Flower and Garden Show that takes place in Seattle, Washington this week. Social media manager Courtney gives us the scoop on travel, parking, shopping, seminars, and a spectacular tour of the gardens before the doors open. And we're live. Hey, Courtney.
Hey!
How fun! Look at you. You got your swag on, your Northwest Flower Garden Show badge and everything.
Yeah,
Look at
I'm all
that.
decked out.
I love it. How fun. I know just before we went live, I'm like, is that you? I haven't seen you. You grew up.
I know. I think it was 2012 when I last, or 2013. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So let's introduce you to the audience here. So you're Courtney, and tell us, what do you do with the show?
So I actually am the social media manager. I came on in just after the show in 2014. And I'm a former garden creator actually at the show. And so they approached me and they're like, hey, you're young. You know about social media, right? And I was like, I guess I do.
Yeah.
So I run the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then Pinterest, and then we do a little bit of a blog on our website too.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
you're so young.
I am. Yeah, I my first garden show, I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And my mom was heavily involved in the show, and that's really how I became involved.
Yeah.
And I've been going pretty much every year since then. So yeah, pretty
I
cool.
love it. That's because I remember seeing you with your mom, and then you also did like they had like an X generation or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It, in 20, I want to say it was 2013. They
Okay.
introduced a new award, and it's called the X Factor Award.
Mhm.
And it's actually, the judges are all 30 and under, and it's supposed to be the garden that best represents a younger generation. And I was one of the first to judge that, so that was pretty cool.
That's so cool. Very
Yeah,
fun. And it's a great show. So let's talk a little bit about the Northwest Flower Garden Show. Your theme this year. What is it?
it is a taste of spring, which is really cool. It's kind of our tagline is celebrating all things plant, grow, eat. So
Love it.
it's really a lot of edibles, a lot of even outdoor kitchens. Pretty cool too. There's a lot of herbs, and even just stuff like there's one garden where it's like a cocktail garden almost, and then one that's like a beer garden. So they have a lot of hops and they have a cake
Oh,
bin. It's pretty cool.
I would love it. Okay,
Yeah,
so and everybody has to get on your Instagram to see all these pictures because I know wasn't today was the media event, right? The
right. Yeah, the media tour just finished up. Yep.
super fun. But now everybody else that wants to come to the show, that starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so the show runs Wednesday through Sunday, and we're here from like 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. pretty much every day. So you have plenty of time to see everything at the show because there's a lot.
Very cool. And before, I mean, I hope we could talk a little bit more about what's going on in there at the show. But before
Yeah.
we do that, if we have people who are new to the Seattle area, can you give them any tips? I mean, I do remember coming from Ohio, it was very easy to get to the parking area, into the show. Is there anything we should know about tips?
It can be a little bit overwhelming just because downtown Seattle's not the easiest. One big thing is a lot of people tend to drive to the show. So there's a parking garage here, and the show's located at the Washington State Convention Center, which is like almost in the heart of downtown. And there's a parking garage right below, but that fills up like in the first hour sometimes. So we actually introduced a new show shuttle this year, which is really cool. It departs from like 4 different locations kind of around the Seattle metro area.
Okay.
So it's a really great way for people to save like on parking and gas. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of parking garages near here just because it's downtown Seattle. So It's
Right.
it's actually pretty cool too because the convention center is built on top of I-5 over the freeway.
Yeah.
So if you're driving on I-5, you drive underneath the garden show.
That's cool. Beautiful
Yeah,
city. And despite the fact that you have tons of food in the convention center, it's
yeah.
also a really quick walk just down to that, what was it, the wharf or something? All the seafood and market.
Pike's Place. Yeah, Pike
That's it.
Place Market.
Pike's Place.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Convention Center is on the corner of 7th and Pike Street, and so you literally can just walk straight down Pike Street to Pike Place Market, and there's bakery, there's the Flying Fish, which that's what they're known for. But yeah, there's a lot within this location,
Yeah.
so it's really cool to kind of tour around.
Oh, I miss it. I think the first Starbucks is there too, right?
Yes,
Right?
yeah,
Yes.
the very first Starbucks location is right across the street from Pike Place Market. There's also the new roastery, the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, and it's the
Okay.
first one in the country. And that one's actually a block away from the convention center up north.
Nice.
It's really,
Nice.
you can see all the beans being roasted right on
Yeah.
site. Pretty cool.
So if you're new to the area and you're coming in, you might as well still stay the whole show, right?
Absolutely. You know what? Buy a 5-day pass and then just tour around when you leave.
Well worth it, totally. Because now that we've gotten to the convention center, there's a lot to this show. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
you could touch base a little bit on what to expect when you get in there. I mean, you got your seminars, the trade
Mhm.
show, and then the floor itself, right?
Yeah, so there's really kind of three main parts to the show. First of all is obviously our display gardens, which are huge, and obviously we'll go and look at those a little bit more. Um, we have a full seminar schedule. We have over 110 seminars this year. 4 different speakers from all over the United States and Canada, which is pretty cool. And it's considered kind of world class. Our seminar manager Janet has been doing it for a very long time, and she's very good at her job. We
Yeah.
have really cool people this year. A lot of new speakers too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we have over 350 exhibitors. And one thing that I believe statistically, we actually have the biggest marketplace of any garden show in the world, which is really cool. And there's a lot to shop here. It's a little different from like a home and garden show because all of the exhibitors are very themed to outdoor and nature and artists. This year too, with the theme Taste of Spring, we actually have a new section called the Tasting Corner. And that's pretty cool because it's all local gourmet food and they're all going to be sampling stuff just in honor of the theme.
I love it. That is
Yeah.
so cool.
It's
That is
really-
awesome. That's new. The food, that's a great addition. Definitely.
Well, we want to embrace and show off the relationship between the garden and the dinner table. It's
Totally.
very, very, very close.
Yeah, no, that's a great place. And then I know, I remember in the marketplace, which if no one's ever been to a garden show before, that's basically the shopping area, right? And
Definitely.
so you had great, I mean, there's artists, awesome artists from all around the country, but all different things, wind chimes, and
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a lady still there. She made gourds and she painted them and made birdhouses. Okay.
Oh, here. Yep. And
So
it's
cool.
there's different sections of exhibitors too. I mean, we have nonprofit educationals, we have local artists, we have hardscapers, we have like an actual plant market, a dedicated plant market. We have a vintage garden market, so it's actually just a bunch of vintage exhibitors that come in too. So it's really cool.
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
forgive me, I haven't looked at the pamphlet to see what's going on this year, but I remember when I was there years ago, you actually had local like high schools that came in and did little competitions, right?
Yeah. So we actually changed that this year. It's a little different. So it was called Funky Junk,
Yeah.
and it was local high schools. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But this year we changed it a little bit, and one of our newer features is called Garden Wars. And in Garden Wars, so what we do is we invite local like celebrities from the news and the radio stations to actually compete for charity. And so they compete and build a garden in under an hour. It's really cool. The MC is Joe Lampole, who's from A Greener World. He's also a show judge this year. But in Garden Wars, we also invited some high schools to compete. So on Saturday of the show, it will be Nathan Hale High School and Ballard High School competing against each other. And all of the money that would normally go to the charity goes to their horticultural program, which is really cool.
That's awesome. Very cool.
It's $1,500 total, so it's pretty cool.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you have a busy night ahead of you. There's fundraisers, there's a cool party going on. I'm so excited for you. And okay, so are we going to try to get into that room there and check things out? We'll hope we don't lose connection.
We should be good. I'll wander around a little bit. So we are actually about 10 minutes away from judging. So some of the garden creators are still working right now, but they're about to get kicked off the floor for judging right at noon. Okay. So it's some people are kind of in a mad fury. We had a couple last minute gardens this year, so we'll see. So this first one is the theme garden. Every year the show actually designs our own garden. It's not judged, but it's supposed to be what best represents the theme. So it's usually full of a lot of color. It's a kind of a wow introduction to the show. So that's pretty cool.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the name of it is Herbed Butter. And it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of like veggies and chives and parsley and then of course a lot of yellow flowers. You see the daffodils right here.
Yeah. Hey Courtney, you see those yellow like sticks coming out of the ground back there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the dogwood, right? Yes. When I was at the show a few years ago, I fell in love with those, and now I have like a giant one in my backyard.
Oh, that's so cool!
And every time I go past it, I remember the show. So
yeah. Well, and that's kind of the cool thing about these display gardens is it's a way to showcase a lot of new products and new plants, and it's kind of what we call trendsetters. You know, it sets the pace for what we're really going to see this gardening season. What plants are going to be hot, what styles, you know, that kind of thing.
Definitely. Look at all that hardscaping, big rocks, and
I know it's cool. And these little planters with the crocus right here, so cute.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Well, and another key theme, so obviously with Taste of Spring and food in the garden, another important issue is obviously pollinators. And so we have quite a few gardens that are really into, you know, butterflies and bees, and you see a lot of the mason bee houses and stuff in the display gardens, and chickens, and, you know, a lot of little themes like that. It's pretty cool.
Look at that conifer. I want to take that home, the giant pine tree.
So beautiful.
Isn't it amazing?
Well, and sometimes we get people from obviously all across the country, and so some gardens are very natural to us, and we're like, oh yeah, that's a Pacific Northwest garden, but some people come to the show and they're like, oh, this is amazing, I've never seen anything like this, and we're like, oh, well, we kind of see this all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
This one is really cool. It's super colorful. Might get a little loud here. We got some
they're working.
There's a really beautiful fountain.
Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous.
Stunning. See, and here's kind of that outdoor kitchen feel I was telling you about. All right there.
Oh,
just a beautiful little patio. Yeah, it's very cool. This is done by Adam Gorski, who's just a local designer here, and he pretty much does a garden almost every year. So yeah,
look at that. And that's the way to do it, with all the plants around it. You know, you go to some home shows and it's just like concrete and blocks, and but that's the way to do it right there.
Yeah. Well, and here, let me get my way through all these construction vehicles. One thing about this show that makes it pretty different too is, you know, we have professional judges. So we have 3 judges this year. Joe Lampel, Growing a Greener World, Vanessa Gardner-Nagel, who's a APLD certified, and then I can't remember her name. I'm blanking out. She's from Washington D.C., and so it's kind of held to a higher standard here when it comes to judging, because not only does everything have to look like a real, full, mature garden, it can't look like it was just built 2 days ago, you know? Right.
When it was.
Exactly. And these garden creators only have 72 hours. And there's no other garden show in the world that can have this kind of quality of garden in such a short time.
Wow. That's gorgeous. Look at that. You got
your little this one is I love it. It's done by Choice Landscapes. They were new last year, and they went a little safe last year, so this year he's like, I'm going theatrical. I'm going all out. It's really cool, and there's actually a beautiful waterfall right here too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then you can see this little setup. Oh, we have the house lights on for a little bit.
Yay, good. Good time for photos.
Yeah, and you see this little cute
Look
shed.
at that.
I love it.
Oh, what is
And
that
it's
up
all
there?
about
They-
the little.
they
It's
have
all about the little
birds?
details.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the fire pit and the s'mores right here.
Oh, that's great. Oh, look at the lights. Adorable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah,
see, and this is actually a new garden creator this year. You can see all these veggies that are super cool right here.
Yeah. Look at that.
Nice big olive trees, lots of like citrus plants too, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then we have this garden over here that has a really cool patio, and they're bumping some music right now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You can see it's got a lot of orange flair in it.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
And of course, we can't have real fire in here, but
Yeah.
if you can take a look at that right there, that is actually vapor with orange uplighting. Let me see if I can go wander in really quickly.
That's awesome. Look at that.
So it's definitely not real.
That looks real, though. That's cool.
Yeah,
Look at that.
cool.
Great color. Great color. There was a nice orange, container.
I know, you can kind of
behind.
see.
That was perfect. Oh, look at that. Ah, that's sharp.
Yeah, the orange accents are just lovely in this garden.
Look at that. Yeah, he's jamming.
Yeah, and then this garden's really cool. So this is done by Farmer Frog, and they're known for kind of their farming sustainable aspects. You can see this retaining wall is really cool.
Look at that.
And then they have a little chicken coop
Yeah.
in there. And then this structure is amazing. If you can see this, it's a whole aquaponic hydroponic system.
Nice.
I mean, I feel like I haven't seen anything like this garden in a very long time at the show, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's such a nice variety. You can see this really cool shed. It actually has solar panels on top.
Nice.
Very sustainable. I mean, that's kind of all Farmer Frog is about. So
I love it. Look
then
at
we
this.
have kind of English Tudor garden, which is super cool. So there's actually, it's two different garden creators who worked together. And one side of the garden, which I'll take you to, is very formal and very much a knot garden. You can kind of see that boxwood all lined up in the Tudor style of the shed, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And they even, I'll see if I can find them, but they even have bleeding hearts in bloom, which is very cool.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
some lilac right here. If you could smell this right now, you'd be in heaven. Take a deep breath.
I know. That's a traditional one, too. That's real. Oh, it's white. Oh, nice.
And then, of course, we have plenty of Daphnes, too, which, smell fabulous.
Yeah, we don't have those in Ohio, so that's a treat.
Yeah, even here, they're a little tender, tender. And there's even more lilac. I'll show you right here.
Nice. Oh, that's going to be a treat.
I know, it's so fun because that's one of the other things, and it's actually a judging requirement, but all the gardens have to force something into bloom that normally wouldn't be blooming right now. And so some of these plants were started back in September in warm greenhouses just to keep them warm, and basically we fake a winter for them and then start their spring early. So we start warming up in like December, January.
Yeah.
And then their plants are like, oh, it's spring, I should wake up.
Yeah. I love it.
This one is the beer garden, in a sense. It's called Garden on Tap by Plants Woman Design, which is really cool. You can see there's a really cool lit up bottle tree right there.
Oh, look at that. That is cool.
And the shed is called a pub shed. There's actually a real keg in there, supposedly.
We'll find out later, right?
Exactly. I'm expecting them to pop it on the last day of the show.
Or when they win.
Beautiful.
They may win.
Yeah, exactly. And then a beautiful waterfall right here, and even a sweet little hammock. I'll have to walk around. And there's a bunch of hop vines, of course, because of beer, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it. Look at that.
And yeah, and the light up signs. She added a lot of really cool lights in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you kind of point at the hops plants just so people know? Look, this is what it looks like. This is where your beer comes from.
Yeah, basically. So this right here, this is a hop vine that's wrapped
Look at
around
that.
the canvas, which is pretty cool. And it looks like this is even like I'm going to say this is almost a blackberry. Yeah, this is a black satin blackberry right here.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's obviously lots of little flavors. She has some currant, some thyme, lots of sage. Like I said, a lot of edibles this year, which is really cool.
Totally.
Let me see if there's more. Oh, and I have to show you this retaining wall in this garden. It's super cool.
Oh,
So,
wow.
gabion layered with some wine bottles all along both sides of the garden, and then the sage is planted right on top of it. It is so cool. Yeah, they worked really hard on that.
Those are cool ideas. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And you know, all the plants you're listing, I mean, anybody, you could get these. You can mail order them.
Absolutely.
You know,
And honestly,
man.
most of these plants are available at local nurseries right here in Seattle right now. I mean, these are really easy, approachable plants too. And you know, some of them even have, you know, obviously there's plenty of specialty plants, but more often than not, it's just plants that people haven't heard of. And so the garden show is a really great way to get more people to say, hey, that's really cool. I have dry shade and I want this.
Yeah.
So this one I'm really excited for. So this is done by Nature Perfect, and they always have amazing, with just a touch of theatrical, but you can kind of see just stunning plantings right here.
Wow.
This beautiful table setup. The fireplace is, of course, a TV.
Right.
And then there's a waterfall right over there in the background. And I have to show you this kitchen. It's so cool. So all the herbs are planted right along the edge of the bar. So basically your herb garden is right at your barbecue. Which
I
is so
love
cool.
it.
Yeah,
my word. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just planted all around the edge. And then right here, we actually have the craters right here.
Yeah, guys.
This is a beer tap. Is that correct? Right? Yep. You're going to have some going for us?
Beer on tap.
That is awesome.
What kind of beers in there?
So, Taste of Spring, we're really embracing it here. But yeah, it's just beautiful, beautiful. And I watched them put this whole thing together and glue
That's so cool.
all of these rocks on individually.
Oh, look at that.
I'll walk around to the front of this garden so you get the full visual. So
Okay.
I'm going to be a little biased with this garden because this is actually the first year my mom has designed a garden without my help. Because I work for the show, I don't want to help her, obviously.
Right, right.
But this garden, she did a cocktail theme of Mad Men, the TV show.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be kind of a Mad Men theme, very retro cocktail, which is super cool. You can kind of see the plantings. And that is actually artificial turf, which is very, very normally in the past has been kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
But really, people are starting to realize the aspects of how eco-friendly it is.
It is.
Water,
right.
no mow, so no gas. I mean,
Right.
There's a lot of really good benefits. And nowadays, too, they've worked on it so hard that it looks good, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like AstroTurf, you know?
Right, right. Well, and just think, you know, if you can't grow grass because of water restrictions and things like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And she put a plant sign in it that says no mow grass, which it is.
I love it.
It's pretty cool too. She has these little containers planted around the edge, and every single plant in them, they're all edible in some way. And she even has these little recipe cards for cocktails, which is super cool.
Gorgeous. Oh,
Yeah,
so
and
smart.
This citrus tree she found, it's very rare. Here, I'll go up on the label for you. Yuzu-Chenin citrus. So it's one of the only citrus plants that will survive our zone here, which is generally a zone 7 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, citrus we absolutely have to keep indoors.
Right. Oh, that's so cool.
Crew is here.
Yeah, they're getting ready.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have the party in there at night? People can walk through, right?
Yeah. So we have the opening night party, which is hosted by the local Washington Park Arboretum. And it's a full fundraiser, actually, for the Arboretum, all nonprofits go to them, and supporting. It's one of the oldest nonprofits in Seattle. Actually, it's 230 acres up in North Seattle, and it's very cool. It's all for a good cause, and plus people get to come and they get to see the display gardens before anyone else, which is really cool.
Yeah, look at that. Oh,
Yes,
that's cool.
a full gabion sedum wall. It's all sedums packed in here, which is really cool. All up in this doorway. This is done by Treeline Designs. He's kind of known to do a lot of things on the West Coast. He tends to do a lot of stuff in Portland especially, but you can see this. It's so pretty in here.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at the little seating area with the teal pillows, or
yeah.
like a robin's egg blue kind of.
Yeah, definitely. And they have a little print with lavender on it too. It's really pretty.
So cute.
And there's a mirror back there, and obviously for a mirror in landscape design is used to basically pretend like there's more space. So it's a really good visual effect in these show gardens and make him seem like they're way bigger than they are.
I love it. I think your did that pine tree back there, was that a pine tree? I think it has cones in it. Or wait, is that?
Oh, yeah.
Look. Oh, what is that?
A Polson fir on loan from Amazing Maples. That is pretty cool.
Gorgeous. You don't see that everywhere.
No, and that's kind of the cool thing about the show is it's a lot of different plants. There's a lot of conifers here and a lot of hearts too. This one is really cool. It's super colorful if you're ready for it. This one's Cara Landscape Design. And she has kind of a knot garden feel with the boxwood, how it's planted. Yeah. And then she has little veggies all tucked in here.
Look at that. So cute.
Yeah, it's really cool. And if you can see, look at this little tiny shed.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah. And then a fountain too, a little gorgeous fountain everyway.
Yeah, I noticed the herbs in there. They're really good about their planting because you got the tulips and then they're all seasonal. They're like, they match. It's not like you have a summer herb growing with the tulips,
Right. Well, and again, that's part of the thing about judging is it's a point scale and it's pretty hard to get a gold. You have to be pretty good. And every little thing is how realistic is it and can these plants actually grow together? Does it look like a full mature garden? Did you force things into bloom and really just is it realistic? Because we don't want people coming here getting the wrong idea. I mean, there is a bit of theater, but that's just kind of part of the experience. We still want people to come home inspired and be able to do this in their own garden at some point.
Totally.
Really, yeah.
Look at that. Gorgeous.
I know. I love it. It's so cool.
I love that.
I'll have to walk around. Now that the lights are on, we might be able to see this garden a little bit better. I'll walk around.
Okay.
And like I said, I think they're about ready to be kicking out people.
Yeah. Look at that.
So this one's pretty cool too.
Oh, yeah.
Garden Creator also. They've only done one of our City Living balcony displays before, but this is the one with the fake fire.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
Wow, that rock they've made into like a bird bath, right? Or is there fountain?
Yeah, and it actually has a fountain in it. It's bubbling.
Okay. Look at that.
But that is better for birds because birds do like moving water. They like water because it makes them think that they're, it's easier to bathe in.
Right. And, I don't know if you guys get a lot of the mosquitoes. That would actually keep mosquito eggs out because it's moving.
Oh, really? We don't get in the summer a little bit, but summers here really only reach like 75 degrees. It does not get very hot.
Smart design.
You can kind of
that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very, very, very cool.
And those conifers, those are older species. It took a while to get those beautiful shapes that they've brought there,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I want to say every year the average combined total retail value of these gardens is over $2 million.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort, a lot of time. When I was a garden creator, it was just like you spend 9 months of planning all for 10 days, and that's it. And you make it count because you only have one chance.
Yeah, and that's
And it's,
something.
yeah, and you have a lot of, I mean, you have to rely and plan so intricately. I'm going to show you too, these bamboos are so tall. They're in the ceiling lights.
Look at that.
And this one is actually the Arboretum Foundation,
Hmm.
to host the opening night party. They always do their own garden that's based on the Arboretum. So this one is actually called Hanami Savoring Spring. It's pretty cool. It's a very Japanese feel. You can see actually the Japanese meals set out right here.
That's gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah. And then this structure, I think, is just so cool. You can see it all. It goes all the way up, and you have to
Wow.
understand too that this was all built in 72 hours. That's all they have.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it's just gorgeous moss native plantings here. It's very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Now there used to be on the website, I don't know if they still have it, I haven't looked, but they had like a time lapse of everything
Yeah.
being moved in. Okay.
Yeah. So we did a time lapse in 2012, which the theme that year was music, a symphony. And so that's the one we have now. We did one last year, but it didn't quite turn out. So we're doing another one this year. The problem, of course, is we only have one chance to do it, and if it doesn't
Right.
work, we have to wait a whole year.
Yeah.
But we have one going up in those windows right up there. It's really cool. You get to see the whole floor, and we do the full time lapse, so you get to see it from literally when we're putting the lights up and there's nothing here to when they're tearing down. It's really cool. Especially during when the show's open, you just see all of these people packed in the aisles. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So fun. And you can look at it on your website.
Yeah. I think it's on our homepage. I also posted it to our Facebook page, and we're just the Northwest Flower and Garden Show. I posted it last week, which is pretty cool too. It's cool that you can see it there.
Look at that wall. That's cool.
So cool.
That's the Sedums, right?
Yeah. So they have, I want to say the company's Eterra, and they provide a bunch of sedum tiles. And what they do is they literally just line the gabion with the sedums. It's very cool. You can see it. It's just, I mean, it's hard to kind of show you the scale of this, but it's massive.
No, this is great. The video is great. I feel like in there, kind of. Except I can't.
I know.
I can't smell the lilac and the mulch right now.
I know.
It's so earthy.
I was telling an attendee, I was like, we should create a Northwest Flower and Garden Show scratch and sniff. That would be awesome.
There you go. Mail it out with your flyers to get people to the show.
I know. So this is actually our wine garden. So it's not Judge.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, the wine garden. You can go in there. You can purchase some beverages, take a little break, kick your feet up.
Yeah. And it's actually last year we got the permitting for like walk around alcohol, because normally you'd have to stay in the wine garden, but now people can actually go in the wine garden, get a drink, and go see the show, sit in on seminars.
Nice.
And this year too, because again, the food theme, we really tried to update the food too. So there's actually like a signature cocktail with, I want to say there's like some rose petals in it, and kind of fun stuff like that.
Very cool. Oh, those plantings are gorgeous.
Yeah, and I was going to show you, so they had multiple themes, but you can see this one too. This was a very Bali theme, kind of a succulents too right here. But yeah, it's really cool.
Gorgeous.
And then you can see some of our exhibitors kind of moving in right now too. Lots of goodies.
There you go. That's the shops over there, the trade show. Marketplace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot of local nurseries who come in, so you can kind of see, it's a lot of grab and go items in this area, which is really cool. People kind of go all out on the displays here, and we love it.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I can even show you a local favorite from Vashon Island is Big Nursery right here. You can see her. Oh yeah. You can see all of their really cool hanging plants all up in here. Lots of little succulents.
Look at that.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. Like I said, they have until tomorrow morning, so they're doing a lot of setup right now.
I love it. So when you see plants out on the display floor, you can go over to the marketplace and take some home and recreate
Yep.
your own.
Basically, yeah. One thing that's actually new to the show this year, it's a new feature. It's called the new plant patio. And what we wanted to do is just kind of add a little freshness. And so it's actually all plants that have come out since the last garden show. And so it's all from local growers, and breeders. And so we bring them in, and so people can see what's actually new on the plant market, which is really cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
You can see these really cool little
Look at
displays
that.
And I believe our city living displays should be done. So let's go take a look at those. These are really cool because they're balcony displays and they're only 6 by 12. And
Oh,
especially with kind of the Seattle area and then the high amount of people in condos and apartments, there's a really high demand for small space gardening, especially edible
boy.
gardening.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, so it's a really cool view of downtown Seattle down there too. We're basically on a sky bridge that's right over downtown
Very
Seattle
cool.
balconies. So you can see they're just little vignettes.
Look at that.
Yeah. And then there's like this one, which has a really cool rain collecting system.
Smart. Look at that.
Yeah, it's perfect because it's a balcony display, and you
Yeah.
can do more with it than you think. There's this one that's really cool too. Hey.
A lot of times they really pack them in, don't they? Some of them.
Yeah.
That looks
Well,
great.
we like to joke that they pack in a lot of inspiration in these.
Yeah.
You
Look
can
at
see
that.
this one, the fountain. I love the little table set right here. It's very modern. This
Totally.
is really cool. You can see all the little bee houses right there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And so these are all done from other local, who puts those together again?
Yeah, other local businesses. More often than not, we find it's container designers.
Mm-hmm.
So people who kind of do this for a living, or just smaller landscape companies who aren't quite ready to do one of the big display gardens, because that's a pretty big commitment.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of times they'll do one of these first and then kind of upgrade to one of those gardens. This one's a really cute little vignette.
Oh, look at that. Anybody could do, I mean, you could totally do that.
Exactly. And that's what we wanted to show is, you don't have to have $60,000 and, an acre of landscape. You don't even have to have, this is just little vignettes, that's all you need. And, the other thing is, this doesn't have to be done all at the same time. If you have a balcony, you can just do piece by piece when you're ready. You buy the pot and a couple plants today, you buy the decor later, it's kind of a work in progress, just like most gardens.
Right.
We'll have to wonder. I don't know if, they're not all here yet because they don't have to be here. But another new feature, again, because of the theme Taste of Spring, is Bouquet of Cakes. And so we actually have cake displays, which are super cool. I know some of them are still coming in, but it was totally new feature this year. We decided to try it out. You can see this one's bamboo, which is super cool.
Look at that. And that's cake.
Yeah, I know. I can smell it right now, and I'm like, oh, I want the frosting.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, and you can see, I don't know if you can see this, like, look at that. That's so incredible.
Look at the ribbon, and that's just that icing, the way they...
Yeah, that's all just icing. It's so cool.
Oh, look at the roses. Gorgeous.
Yeah. And
but it's icing.
I know.
Don't stick your finger in it.
Yeah, obviously these are a little bit for show, so it's not a full real cake, but yeah.
Right.
This one's done by a local antique company, actually, so you can kind of see lots of little vintage stuff, and they even have a little TV.
Look how
Nothing wrong with having a TV on your patio.
No, everybody's doing that now, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually heard one new really popular thing is people are turning their balconies into their home office.
Yeah.
Just office outside. This one's a really pretty one right here.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can see the metalwork on the side, and these columnar plants really give a lot of definition to it too.
Yeah.
Cute little display.
It looks very Italian.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
and then it can be as simple as this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, little bulbs in the mason jars, which is
Look
super.
at that.
And they even have little canning right here.
Cute.
And that's the one cool thing that I really like about really all of the gardens here is it's all in the little details. You know,
Mhm.
it's not always these big, plain, grandiose displays. It's the little stuff sometimes that's the most inspirational.
Right. Totally. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a piece of
Nice
rock,
little,
isn't it?
yeah, it's a nice, actually, a little gentle waterfall.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Wonder how are the leaves in there? It's just like an impression, maybe?
It's not. I think they're actually maybe cemented on in some way.
Wow. And see, that's a cool thing. So the artist will probably be there and you can actually talk to them about that stuff.
Yes, definitely. And that's one thing about the display gardens too is we actually require them to be staffed. So there's always someone there who can answer any of your questions, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. How
Well,
fun. Look how huge that place is.
this is just a tiny peek of all of our exhibitors.
Wow. Moving in.
Oh yeah, we got bulbs, we got seeds, we got maples. I mean, you name it in the gardening world, we probably have it.
Oh, I love having all the plant people there because you can
Yeah.
ask them questions. And I remember one year they could even ship it to me in Ohio if I didn't want to bring it with me on the plane.
Yeah. They're very accommodating.
Yeah.
Well, and we actually, because we're really close to Vancouver, BC, and so we actually have a lot of people who come down from Vancouver and visit the show. And so we actually offer a lot of Canadian specials, but we also offer completely free plant inspection. So they can buy plants and take them right across the border, which is really cool.
Smart. That's nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bulbs and oh my goodness.
Orchids coming in. And I don't know if you can see kind of the string lights in the back. So that's actually new this year for our vintage market. We wanted it to kind of have more of an authentic kind of warm, inviting feel. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you see air plants,
Yeah.
really, really, really cool stuff.
Look at all that. How fun.
Yeah, lots of goodies. I mean, we like to refer to the show as gardening nirvana.
Yeah. So you have a lot of food there. You have a lot of plants there. We have great speakers. And now are you going to still have, there was a little area where down by the seminars where you actually had like cooking demonstrations and things like that.
Yeah, we have a little bit of that. It's called our DIY stage, and it's really cool because it actually has a slanted mirror above the stage, so you can see what the speaker's doing down below with their hands. And I know we cut back a little bit on the cooking demos, but I know that we still have a bunch. And for those people who are kind of familiar with the restaurant scene in the Seattle area, we actually have Tom Douglas, who's a pretty famous guy in the Seattle area. He owns like 9 restaurants in the area. He will be speaking at the show and doing a bunch of cooking. He's kind of a big deal.
Yes, that's very cool.
Yeah, we just wanted to involve, and we have a lot of like just local food companies coming to the show just to experience it. So
look at that. How fun.
So much.
Oh my goodness.
And this is, you kind of see the scale. This is the Sky Bridge that those balcony displays
Look at that. And you're over a street, a very busy street right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we have good enough quality here, but if you look down the balconies on this other side, you can see it's perfectly framed the Pike Place Market sign.
Yeah.
Really cool. But yeah, it's very cool.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So just so everybody knows, tell us that website again.
Gardenshow.com. It has pretty much everything you need to know about everything to do with the show.
Yep. And then you will also find all the social media links on there. And I don't know if you're allowed to say, like, what's your favorite place to share? Like, do you like the Pinterest or do you like the Twitter or Instagram?
I prefer Pinterest leading up to the show because I actually post a lot of the exhibitors on there. But I prefer a little bit of Facebook, but I also really like Instagram. And I've actually been doing some live videos on both, so you can definitely check it out too. And this is the first time we've ever had live video, like during building and during the show.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But yeah, you can definitely keep track of us on Instagram. We're at NWFGS and also hashtag NWFGS.
Right. And so if people are going to the show, if you're watching this and you're going, please jump on that hashtag so we can see what everybody's sharing, right?
Yes. And so I can like your posts and share them.
I love that. Look at that. I know you can't share your favorite garden. I'm guessing what it is, though, but you can tell me later.
I really like my mom's garden, of course. But I really also like the Nature Perfect garden, which was the one with the beer spout that we were looking at. That one cool. It's just very well designed. You know, it has amazing leading lines, and that's one thing, you know, in these gardens you have to really pay attention to is where the eye naturally goes. And I think that garden does an amazing job.
Totally. I just remembered something when you made a turn there out the main entrance area. There used to be a stage out there where people could listen to local music and that. Do you still have that?
Yeah. It's not in that area. It's actually back in the North Hall by Garden Wars. But yeah, we actually have a huge stage this year, and we're getting a bunch of local artists. And I would say probably some pretty hip and young artists. So I'm kind of excited for that.
Okay, so make sure you do some of your live streams over there because I like that music.
Okay, yeah, I will make sure to do that.
Because on the hour, every hour, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just kidding.
The problem is sometimes my phone is like, oh, live streams? Do you have to do that?
Yeah, it does suck the energy, all the battery life out.
It totally does.
But I'm sure people can find outlets. You have outlets there this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All over.
Good. Very cool. All right.
Take one last look. You can kind of see this one I was talking about. It's so cool.
Oh, I love that. Do you remember the designer of that one again?
Yes, it's Nature Perfect Landscape. They're actually from Olympia, Washington, which is about an hour and a half south of Seattle.
Gorgeous.
This is their third year, and they have won gold every year that they've done the show because they do amazing gardens. So cool.
Is that the one they were pouring beer?
What's that?
Were they the ones that were serving beer up? Okay.
Yep, right about there. Their kitchen is,
they're going to win.
Well, supposedly it's just water, but we'll see.
Sure. Okay, very cool. And so tonight when all these are announced, are you guys going to send that out on your Instagram so we can all follow that?
Definitely. Yeah,
Awesome.
I might even actually just do a live stream, but yeah, we'll announce all the awards. They do the auxiliary awards a little bit later too, but yeah, you can kind of see. We can walk through this one too.
Oh, this is the one I would be like living in here because I'm totally into this right now.
I look at all of this. It's so amazing.
Those are like PVC pipes, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Looks like, and it's a full system. You can kind of see in the corner over there.
It's so cool.
Yep, rain collection all with and there's a bunch of chard and butter lettuce.
And you can do this. It really is simple with some direction. Look at that. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, now look so at here. How are those plants? Can you kind of see how are they floating? I'm trying to get.
It looks like they're actually just on lava rock, and it's they have a full system down in here. It's it's a full working system. It's really cool. You can see here right on the other side, growing trays, of course.
Yeah. And they're getting their water from the tubes there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all being recycled. And that's one thing I'm really excited for this garden because it's something different, and it was definitely needed in the show this year.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Look at you can see they even have their little beehive and chicken coop. I mean, they covered really all of the bases.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. Little chickens. Wait, is that a chicken? That's a fake one.
It's not a real one. We had some real ones in the show last year, but I think they just made the decision that it was easier to do it this way.
Yeah.
You can see
Look at that. Oh.
And they even brought in, like, I don't know if you can see that little detail. That's just like some old leaves that they actually brought in to make it look more realistic.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, it looks totally realistic. You can totally do this. It takes time.
Right, and that's what we want people to see is just be inspired. And maybe, you don't have to do the same thing all the time in the garden. And the thing is too is actually I think Janet, our seminar manager, and I were just talking about how the garden evolves with your taste too. You don't have to keep it the same all the time. And
Right.
it's really cool to kind of change it up. It's almost like rearranging your room or your home, You can
Yeah,
rearrange your
totally.
garden too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this. This has been so much fun. Look at
Yeah.
that. Ah,
Yeah.
definitely. So whoever's watching this, if you're getting to Seattle, you should get there and
Yes.
spend the whole week.
Oh yeah. I mean, if nothing else, I would definitely recommend a 2-day pass so you can at least hit up our seminars. And the pass is good for any 2 days. So you can go through our full seminar list and pick which ones you want to go to. But yeah, definitely wear some comfortable walking shoes, and you can
Yes.
pack your own lunch, even bring in your own wagon for plant shopping. It's
Yeah.
all ready to go.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for doing this, Courtney.
Thanks for having me. It was really cool. Like, you guys got the total preview.
I know. So hey, have a great time tonight. We'll be watching your tweets and your
Absolutely.
all of it, not just tweets. Definitely get over to the website again.
Yeah, gardenshow.com.
That's right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. A big thank you to Courtney and friends at the Northwest Flower and Garden Show for sharing with us today. Be sure to click over to gardenshow.com and connect on the hashtag NWFGS. I'd like to invite you to stop by my website at brenhaas.com for more creative interviews and to find out about how you can connect with others who are excited to learn to grow on Garden Chat. Thank you for taking the time to connect today on Creative Living with Bren Haas.